Hi, my name is Michael Smith. I'm with the Office of the Registrar. We're going to talk again today about the CIM Management System and how to use the CIM edit and propose new course forms. I've already logged into CIM, looking at the course admin screen. I've already found the course that I want to use by typing the subject code first, math, and then clicking search. Again, I can see all of the course information that's currently in the system by scrolling down, but I'm going to open the edit course form. The edit course form always takes a little while to load. Now that I'm in here, you can see a few different things that you couldn't see before. First off, I can see there are help bubbles next to a lot of the different questions. That should provide you some guidance on how to answer those questions. I can see that a lot of options like justification for proposal have some suggested answers or some common answers to those prompts. You can always choose other, and when you select other, you'll see an other justification box, and you'll be able to provide your own customized justification. When I scroll down and to the form, I can see things like implementation date. There are only a few options here. If you ever come across a field that has a missing option, just contact the registrar's office and we should be able to add that for you. Again, you can see that all the banner information for the course is already populated. Depending on your answers to certain questions, you may be asked to answer additional questions. For example, if I select that the course yes is repeatable, I'm now required to answer either how many times the course can be taken or the number of max credits. I'd like to point out how many times may the course be taken is different than how many times may it be repeated, which is how we used to think of it. So the answer to this question would be the student can take this class 3 times. I'll put 3 in the box. Or I can say that student can take it 3 times for a maximum 9 credits. The system won't allow me to fill out both of these boxes. I can add to a row by clicking a plus button. When I click this stacked with plus button, I get what we call a course picker. So I can either select the college and then select the department that I'm looking for and see all of the courses. Notice when I get these course lists, I see active or inactive. So an inactive course I wouldn't add to a course form unless I was also proposing to reactivate that course. I can also just type the course in here. Don't forget the A and add it. You can see a new row is now shown on the form. Or I can double click in this course picker box and add it. I can delete any of those rows by pressing the red X. You'll see that because I've now asked to stack the course, it's asking for a justification for stacking. Course description comes from banner. Special note, registration restrictions is another area where when I click yes or no, I get some pre-filled values. This box here is called the other registration restrictions or non-automatic restrictions. These are non-codable restrictions that require the department to enforce. So in other words, Banner can't automatically tell that a UAA placement test is required, and it won't stop a student from registering in the class if they haven't fulfilled that. But the student is notified in the catalog and in the schedule that this is a registration restriction, and the department would be required to enforce that. The prerequisites area is one that should be simpler than on the old CAR form. What we're asking in this box is you try to write out the prerequisites as clearly as you can. Don't worry about parentheses or brackets, and our office will work to make sure that those are codable, and if not, we'll contact you and make sure we find something that works. Under co-requisites, you can see there's also another plus button, and I would pull up a course picker. Selected topics, course, yes or no. Does the course have fees? Yes or no. If I select yes, I should attach the course fee form. Now I get into the course content guide. This is a kind of a smart course editor box, and I can copy and paste directly from Microsoft Word into this box. However, a little bit of a caveat is you may notice when you're copying and pasting complex outlines that they don't format very cleanly. You'll get a different experience depending on which browser you're using and on what version of Microsoft Word you have. If you copy and paste directly into this box and have a problem, you might also want to try clicking the paste button and pasting it into this box before pressing OK, and then it will insert it into here. I have other basic options here that look like Microsoft Word that are pretty simple. I can create links, and I have some default formatting options here. If you're an HTML guru, you can always click the source button and edit the HTML directly from this box. The next section is general education requirements. If this was a GER, you would see that that was already filled out. When I select a GER category, I'm presented with two sets of student learning outcomes and assessment measures. The first set are required for this particular type of GER, so these are required for written communications. You can see there are some common assessment measures that you can check here, or you can always click Other and provide a specific assessment method. Scrolling past that, I get the 9 different general education student learning outcomes and assessment measures. You'll notice that some of them are required for particular GER types. Select Yes, and you get the checkboxes again. Finally, I have the section Other Course-Specific Student Learning Outcome and Assessment Measures. I can add those outcomes here and the assessment measures. I can add more boxes to this table. I can add boxes until my browser crashes. If this is not a GER, you'll notice that this section is still here, but this time it's labeled Course Student Learning Outcomes and Assessment Measures. Course level justification, there are some pre-filled or suggested justifications here for different levels. Again, I can always choose Other. Topical course outline is another box that has the issue with copy and pasting. Suggested text and bibliography also have the green plus and the red minus buttons. While these different column titles don't fit every option, just do your best to fill the information in, and currently it's not reorderable in alphabetical order. When I get to the end of the proposal, I have 3 options. I can cancel this proposal, I can save it and close it, and that would allow me to come back later and make additional edits, or allow a different faculty member to come in and make additional edits. This button is only available to admins. The last button you see is Start Workflow. It's important to note that whoever presses the Start Workflow button becomes the initiator throughout the workflow. So you want to make sure that the person that should be notified, they'll have to approve particular changes, etc. As soon as you press the Start Workflow button, this proposal will be locked down and only available to edit to whichever step it is in the workflow. Also, it will send an email as soon as you click that Start Workflow button to the first person in the workflow. If you want to see what that workflow is going to be, find the course, click Preview Workflow, and you can see the different people that will be notified through the system. Proposing a new course is very much the same. The only difference being I don't have any pre-filled values. You can trust that a course number that you provide is accurate and available. If it's not available, you'll get an error. Finally, I want to talk a little bit about fees in the system. If I select a course and click Edit Course, I can attach a fee form down below in the middle of the form where I mentioned before. Or if I'm only making a change to a fee, this very first question, yes or no, allows me to shorten the form and shorten the workflow. I select yes, the course has a fee, attach a course fee form, and push it into the workflow. One thing that's important to know about this is as soon as you click Start Workflow, this proposal is locked down. That means that any other changes to this course wouldn't be available. If you're planning on making both changes to the course and changes to the fees, it's better to do that all together as one proposal.